The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Bayanihan Broadcast Media and the management.
Welcome everyone to the Super Lolo Show. Prepare for a journey where age knows no bounds and life is the ultimate adventure. Here, we spotlight exceptional individuals who thrive in life's varied arenas, be it sports, entrepreneurship, or community service. I'm your host, Super Lolo Coach Gaston Hoya.
The Super Lolo Show.
All right. Sabi ko nga magbabalik po tayo and welcome ulit dito sa ating episode ng The Super Lolo Show. Ito po si Coach Gaston Hoya and sabi ko nga po sa inyo, I'm a senior citizen, a YouTube blogger, and a wannabe martial artist. But anyway, ang ating Super Lolo Show aims to inspire. Okay, and sabi nga marami tayong segments na available dito na mapapanood dito sa The Super Lolo Show. Isa sa mga segments na yon na tinatawag na kaalaman, okay, which is very very important, I've noticed, is the topic of history. People may somehow disregard it or just brush it off, but do you know history? History is one of the most important subjects or topics that our citizens should value, okay, and it pays to know our past because it will dictate, sabi nga, a lot of what we will do in the future. But I will not be the one to talk about history. I'm not an expert there. Joining me are two very, very special guests. One is, of course, our, sabi nga, Super Lolo correspondent and co-host. Okay? Ang tawag sa kanya si Prof, pero gusto niyo magpatawag na guro. Si Guro Jose Atencio or Joel Atencio. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Joel. Kamusta?
Good day, Coach Gas.
Oh, good day. Yeah. Kamusta po kayo?
Okay naman po. It was just fresh from watching the Oscars award the other day.
Oscars?
Yes,
okay.
And yung favorite kong look-alike mo po na si Robert Downey Jr. won supporting actor sa Oppenheimer. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes. You mentioned to me, because I have not watched it, okay, you mentioned to me that Robert Downey, kasi when you say Robert Downey, the thing that comes into my mind, Jr., the thing that comes into my mind is Iron Man or Tony Stark. Meron siyang, sabi nga, idol yan. But anyway, what I saw in the picture was he's not sporting, Robert Downey Jr. is not sporting his beard.
Yes, he shaved his beard because of the Oscars award and also because of the Oppenheimer thing.
Okay.
He was getting ready for it.
Okay. Now, Prof or Guru.
Yes.
Guru Joel, ang topic natin ngayon is about history.
Yes.
And you are an expert. And
Not
together
really
with
expert.
our special guest, whom you will introduce, si Guro Maki, but I will leave that to you, is another expert in the topic of history.
Right.
So, Guro Joel, can you do the honors to introduce our guest, si Guro Maki. Welcome po, Guro Maki.
Yes, good afternoon. With me is Guro Sumaquel P. Hosalla. He is a history instructor, history teacher from Batasan Hills National High School, Quezon City. And also he used to teach with Philippine Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Polytechnic University of the Philippines before in Quezon City or or Manila.
Readings in Philippines.
Readings in Philippine history. We invited him here because of what I was saying last week.
Yes, yes.
During the last episode about how Lapu-Lapu died.
Yes. Oo, we were discussing that in one of our segments, di ba? Yung past natin. And how Lapu-Lapu died. But sabi nga, that is part of history.
History. And
right?
That, I will reserve it for the next,
right.
for this episode.
Yes. Is it important, Gro, to know how these things really happen? Like, for example, that case of our hero, Lapu-Lapu. How he died. There are several variations or several versions of it. Is it important that we know those things?
Yes, because there are many versions of history and classifications of history. So that's why we have to learn today about how to appreciate history. I believe there are several categories:
Okay.
political, geographical, and I guess Guro Sumaquel Maki Hosalla will tell us about that, how to appreciate history.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, again, join me in welcoming our guest, si Guro. Ayaw niya magpapatawag na profe. Si Guro Sumaquel or si Guro Maki. Welcome po sa Bayanihan Broadcast Media, The Super Lolo Show.
Welcome po, Coach Gas.
Thank you so much.
So yung the question of how important to understand the history is very important. Kasi the history is our roots.
History is our
the past is
roots.
our roots.
Okay.
And napakahalaga nun kasi can you imagine a nation without roots? Walang history. So, kailangan establish yung history natin. Okay?
Yes.
So, example, sa ating nationhood, we are not a nation before. We are not a nation. We are just a colony of a powerful king in Europe. So, kailan tayo naging nation? 'Di ba? Malaking malaking question 'yun. Kailan tayo naging bansa? Kasi we have our nation today, the Filipino nation, hindi ba? But the question is, what is the history of this Filipino nation?
Okay. Guru, just a segue. Are we considered a young republic? Or are we considered already one of those, older civilizations?
If we are going to base, if we're going to answer that question, we need to go back again to what happened. 100 years, centennial, tama? It's not a young nation, 100 years.
Yes, 100 years.
So, kailan ba yung nagsimula? June 12, 1898. Yun talaga yung birth of our nation. And the Filipinos do not understand that. They don't have an idea. Kaya walang sense of nationalism ang mga Filipinos. Hiwa-hiwalay tayo because they don't understand the way our nation was born.
That is going to be very, very exciting because, you see, you're correct in that. If I recall, and this is just my observation, but I'm sure even Guru Joel can already recall because he's already approaching his senior citizenship, his privileged citizenship. During those times, our younger days, from elementary, high school, even college, but mostly in the formative years, history, I remember those thick books, the research that we did, history was very, very important. Okay, very, very important. Has that somehow been diluted during these, should I say, millennial, not millennial, but with the Gen X, Y, and Z? Is history still at its, sabi nga, intense position?
Not all, in my observation.
Yes, observation. Right.
Hindi lahat nakaka-appreciate ng history. And hindi kasi nila alam. They don't exactly know what really happened. Yun ang problema. Yun ang talagang problema. So, it is my advocacy to reintroduce history of our past to the youth, to the Filipino people and the youth, especially the youth. Kasi nga, it is our roots, and para kang barko na walang anchorage from the past.
Okay.
Na pagala-gala sa malawak na katubigan. Ganun ang natin, ganun ang magiging takbo ng ating bansa if we did not go back and hindi natin maunawaan kung ano talaga yung totoong nangyari. We are not a nation before. We are just a colony of Spain.
Welcome everyone to the Super Lolo Show. Prepare for a journey where age knows no bounds and life is the ultimate adventure. Here, we spotlight exceptional individuals who thrive in life's varied arenas, be it sports, entrepreneurship, or community service. I'm your host, Super Lolo Coach Gaston Hoya.
The Super Lolo Show.
All right. So as you were saying, Guro Maki, we were talking about the importance. Sabi mo, poor history, or should I say, the lack of knowledge sa histories, will be like a ship without an anchor. Sabi nga, hindi mo, sino ba ang nagsabing kapag hindi ka marunong tumingin sa iyong pinanggalingan,
That was Rizal.
Okay. Can you complete the sentence? Kapag
Pag hindi marunong lumingon sa
pinanggalingan,
pinanggalingan ay ano?
parang
Mahigit
is
pa sa malangsang
Oh,
isda.
parang it's
Mahigit
not
pa.
something like that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not familiar with
right. But it's true, no? It's true. He made the point talaga. Okay, please continue.
Ayun, so our history is diluted somehow during the time of the 1935 election.
1935.
Yes, so during
Okay.
the kasi in our findings, meron kaming group of researchers that the black propaganda used against General Emilio Aguinaldo at that time was integrated in our history. And then later on it became the truth that has been embraced by the academe na ituro until now.
So, the 1935 scenario or the elections
Yes.
was already black propaganda, parang
Yes, the black propaganda against General Emilio Aguinaldo, the anong tawag
ganon.
dyan?
Supposed to be our
The
first
president
Yes,
and the one who liberated the Filipinos against the Spaniard during the war
Why so?
for liberation ay kalaban niya sa politika ni MLQ, ni Manuel Quezon.
Okay.
So he was destroyed, using this black propaganda against Aguinaldo.
Yep.
So natakpan yung kanyang pagiging conqueror
I see.
because naging bansa tayo because of General Emilio Aguinaldo and his revolutionaries effort to liberate the Philippines. So buong Luzon, they liberated the whole of Luzon, and they threw away all the garrisons of the Spaniard until Baler and Intramuros na lang yung naiwan. Can you imagine kung gaano kalaki yung napalaya nila?
Wow.
And this conquered land, reconquered land from the Spaniards,
Yes.
became the first territory of our nation. Hindi na-realize ng mga Filipino yon that the effort of these revolutionaries is sweat and blood, and hindi nila na-realize na hindi it's not an easy fiat. Why? Because the Spanish army is a modern army
Compared to ours.
Ours is a ragtag katipunan army. Yung Spanish army is well equipped, well trained, well disciplined, and well supplied, well provisioned.
Okay.
While the Katipunan army is a ragtag army, ill equipped, ill trained, and farmers army, sabi nga nila.
Mga itak.
So they yes.
Diba?
May baril na rin sila nakuha. They liberated the whole of Luzon and parts of the Visayas and parts of the Mindanao. Not whole yet.
Yes, of course.
Not whole yet. But it became the very foundation of our nation. Kasi yung territory, the liberated territory became our territory. The liberated land became our territory, and the liberated people became our citizen. So we became a nation. And they declared this nation in June 12, 1898.
This is in Kawit, Cavite.
Yes.
Okay. It
So-
serves me, my memory serves me right. It is in Kawit, Cavite.
So
Okay.
the Declaration of Philippine Independence is actually the written text of the Declaration of Philippine Independence is the birth certificate of our nation. Ibig sabihin, a nation was born.
Officially.
Yes. And then alam natin na it should be recognized by other nation to become part of the
Yeah.
international family of nations,
Yes.
diba? Pero i-recognize ka lang ng ibang bansa kapag ka meron ka ng political organization, yung state.
Okay.
So they started, pinakuha ni ni Aguinaldo si Mabini to establish a state, a political organization. Political organization is a government. So yun, doon na papasok yung republic. And the international family of nation should recognize that republic in order for the nation to be recognized also.
Did they recognize it?
Unfortunately, it was crushed by another foreign power, the Americans.
The Americans came in. Right.
Yes.
Right.
But state ang nire-recognize.
Okay.
And we lost our chance to establish a state.
Yes.
But in reality, we established a state, yung the Republica Filipina. That is our first political state. Political tawag dyan, the first Filipino state. When we say first Filipino state, it is a government of the Filipinos. Can you imagine, for 300 years, wala tayong pagkakataon na magkaroon ng sarili nating government. And that is the first government that they established in 1898. Kaya let's call it the first Filipino state because it's first time na magkaroon tayo nun.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it was crushed. It was destroyed by another foreign power.
Okay.
So, ang kulang na lang sa atin is a political organization na magagaya sana tayo sa Puerto Rico, alam mo yun, and Hawaii.
As a state.
They call it, the place is as a nation without a state. Wala silang government, but they are a nation. Hawaii is also a nation without a state.
Yes, because it's under the
sila?
US.
US territory sila.
Yes, US territory.
They don't have their own government.
Okay.
So magiging ganun sana tayo nung
pero hindi natuloy.
Yes. Pero we lost the political organization, but we have already established our nation.
Okay.
And our identity.
May constitution na.
Yes, the Malolos Constitution clearly define what and who the Filipino is. Ando doon article section, nakalimutan ko yung section, doon sinasabi the first legal document that define who the Filipino is. So it's our identity. Doon nagsimula na tawagin tayong Filipino.
Okay. Mga ating viewers, we'll take a break, pero narinig nyo, no? Identity, that word identity, tapos yung sinasabing Malolos Constitution, okay? And of course, yung isa na pag-uusapan natin, pagbalik natin in a few minutes, is Emilio Aguinaldo, General Emilio Aguinaldo. His story, his life story, was made into a film. And I'm sure a lot of Filipinos have watched that. Okay? And later, you'll see why this is important. Station break. Pag-uusapan po natin yung kay Aguinaldo. Welcome everyone to the Super Lolo Show. Prepare for a journey where age knows no bounds and life is the ultimate adventure. Here, we spotlight exceptional individuals who thrive in life's varied arenas, be it sports, entrepreneurship, or community service. I'm your host, Super Lolo Coach Gaston Hoya.
The Super Lolo Show.
Okay, we return again. with a very, very exciting topic. Kanina sabi nga, there were several movies that involved history. Okay, one of course was General Emilio Aguinaldo, the movie, and General Luna, Antonio Luna. Okay, General Antonio Luna, which is, I think, a more recent and famous, no, movie na talaga namang kinagiliwan ng maraming manonood. Okay, and one of the consultants of the movie is right here with us. Okay, sabi nga, ini-interview natin, he is a history guro. He wants to be called a teacher or guro, a history guro, someone who is not just knowledgeable but very passionate about history. In fact, kahit nga ako when I listen to him, aside from recalling the days in school where my teacher was berating me about not being able to memorize dates, okay, in history. Okay, so anyway, we have him again right here, and again, this is Guro Maki, welcome back to the show.
Welcome, Coach.
Okay. Ayan. Guro Maki, we were talking about kanina. You mentioned the independence, or we were talking about the Malolos Constitution. We were talking about the real, sabi nga, the real time na naging nation tayo. Okay? And we also mentioned about the heroes like General Emilio Aguinaldo. One of the players, if I understand, also that led to this success is General Antonio Luna. And his story was made into a film. I don't know if you call it a documentary film, but still, it is a film that involves facts from the past. Okay, and the title was, and you were a consultant there, I believe, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the consultants.
Okay. Can you please tell us or engage us, okay, in the movie, the background of the movie, who's starring, what your role was, and how did it turn out?
Well, first of all, the movie, in my
Yes.
based on my knowledge and my research about General Antonio Luna, is the opposite of what exactly happened. The story,
Excuse. Okay. Let me. That came as a punch. Okay. That came as a blind punch on my blind side. Can you repeat that again?
It's the opposite of what exactly happened.
When from your knowledge, okay, history and everything, what transpired in the movie is the opposite.
Yes.
Wow. Please tell us more about that.
Yes. Luna is actually
Wow.
Is a stark supporter of General Emilio Aguinaldo.
Okay.
He was a stark supporter. Ibig sabihin talagang
Loyal, diehard.
Yes, loyal.
Okay.
And we in our group of researcher, from Aguinaldo 150, we found out that what exactly happened is different from what being portrayed in the movie.
Pero you watched the movie.
And yes.
Okay.
Kaya nga sinasabi ko blatantly na kabaliktaran.
Wow.
Kabaliktaran, yes. So maraming evidence kaming nakuha. Alam mo naman, kailangan ng evidence sa history, mga primary sources, mga data, to us to believe, yung tawag diyan, yung grabe yung paniniwala namin na yung natuklasan namin yung talagang totoong nangyari.
Talagang convinced kayo
Yes,
ito
we are
nangyari?
very much convinced
Okay.
that General Antonio Luna, that first General Emilio Aguinaldo has nothing to do with the death of General Antonio Luna.
Pero sa movie,
Parang silang pinalabas doon. Hindi naman binanggit but
implied.
it was implied that Mascardo, kasi yung last scene na nandoon sila sa sa may kwarto, it was being implied that yung suspect is those people who are talking in the room.
Okay.
But in so many data that we have gathered about that event, iba. Actually, Luna is trying to stage a coup against the republic, against the government of the republic.
In the movie?
No. Wala. Hindi binanggit. So yung mga ganyang if the evidence, kasi nakabata yung story dun sa gawa nung script ni Rocha at saka nung research nila about sa libro ni at saka sa iba pang mga present day historian na anti-Aguinaldo no. So si Dr. Jose for example, iba yung sinabi niya doon. I have 2 books of Dr. Jose, yung The Rise and Fall of Antonio Luna, and I was a believer then of what he is saying.
Okay.
Kaya lang I find out that he was a doctor in literature pala, and not a doctor in history.
Which is very crucial. Diba?
Yes, because doctor, if you are a master, if you are a historian, meron kang training about critical analysis. Tawag dyan, iba kasi yung definition namin ng iba yung training namin as history majors sa history. Sa amin, hindi ituturing na history ang isang narrative, ang isang story, ang isang event na isinulat kapag hindi dumaan sa critical inquiry at saka critical analysis.
Okay.
So hindi yun practice ni Dr. Jose. So tinanggap niya yung mga data and sources as is, without putting all those sources into critical analysis. Kasi hindi porke primary source nagsasabi na ng totoo. Remember, at that time may dalawang kwento. Yung kwento ng part ng ni Luna at kwento ng part ni Aguinaldo. So, sino nagsasabi ng totoo? You need to apply critical analysis on those sources para malaman mo ang totoo. Kasi yun ang discipline ng history.
Okay.
Ng isang historians. Dapat ang historians ay susuriin kung ano yung totoong nangyari. Para pag naisulat at isinulat mo, you are delivering to the people what exactly happened from the past.
And considering that the movie was a blockbuster, not only that, I think it was also aired on television during those days, no? Television, and I'm sure it's in YouTube also, Sky Cable. Can you imagine the impact it has on the viewers who would accept it as hook, line, and sinker? Ibig sabihin kung ano yung syempre walang nagko-correct, walang nagtama.
And yung nagsasalita yung nasa akademismo, paano yun? Paano may tatama yung mali?
So with your advocacy, Gro, with your advocacy, how do you intend to, well, I will not say correct it, but at least minimize, di ba? Minimize or bring it closer to what is true.
So it is our advocacy to make the people realize what exactly happened from the past, using ilapit sila sa primary sources.
How?
Ayun, available na lahat yung data sa internet, at saka sa mga libro, at saka sa so yung advocacy namin is ilapit ang mga tao sa primary sources, and sila ang magbasa ng primary sources para malaman nila kung ano ang totoo. Sila mag-interpret at saka sila ang mag-unawa. Kasi meron danger doon sa tinatawag nilang paggamit ng mga secondary data sa school. Kaya bago ng curriculum ngayon ang tawag is readings from Philippine history.
Okay.
Pag sinabing readings, ibig sabihin yung bata ang titingin at susuri ng mga primary sources. Dati ang ginagamit natin, textbook.
Yes. So, hindi textbook ngayon.
Yes. Yun na yung bagong curriculum in studying history.
Ano po ang I know we may be running out of time, but this is very important. Ano po ang kaibahan ng textbook at saka ng reading materials ngayon? Sa textbook, sa author, meron danger kasi diyan. Kasi si author, pag nagsusulat, na ipapasok niya sa kanyang narrative, sa kanyang sulatin, yung kanyang ideology, yung kanyang modern concept. May bias na.
Yes, yung kanyang belief system.
Okay.
Belief system at saka yung especially yung ideology. Alam mo yung si Gonzilio, di ba? The masses, yung the rise of the history of the masses, yung term na yan is very di ba? So ideological yun. So naipapasok yung mga ganyang yung mga ganyang. So si author, yung example mga modern concept niya, mga modern na konsepto ngayon, naipapasok niya, nasusulat niya doon. So hindi dapat ganoon ang history. History should be taught. Should be teach and taught according to what happened from the past.
And that is being done now.
Yes. So sa readings, when we say readings nga pala, may ako nito, meron akong lecture nito, hindi ko lang nadala, nasa internet, nasa may laptop ko. So when we say readings, maraming malawak ang definition nito sa history. When we say readings, it means research, it means inquiry, it means analysis, ganon. So hindi lang basta-basta binabasa mo yung tawag diyan, yung sources, but kasama na diyan yung pag-intindi mo kung ano ba talaga yung totoong nangyari, yung totoong kaganapan.
Is it correct, Guro, to say that now the student is also being trained to think?
Yes.
Diba? To think if it's
critically.
Right, critically. That's beautiful.
So yun yung bagong
before we just took things, I remember those thick books written by the author you mentioned plus two others which I will not mention anymore, but naman yun, no? Kakapal na mga yan, and we had to take it as is. We were not trained, or at least maybe I cut my classes, I don't know, but we were not trained really to think, kasi it was the Bible, meaning to say it was we treated it as factual. The writings of Pigafetta, all those, it was factual. So we did not question it, but now that's a good thing, and this is also part of what you're doing, right?
Yes, it's part of our advocacy in our group, at least.
Okay.
Mga history majors and professors. Meron kaming grupo na ganun ang ginagawa. So
Okay.
we help researcher to find data and sources. By the way, the only solid basis
Okay.
of history is the primary sources. And what is primary sources?
Primary sources.
Dalawa
Okay.
dalawa yung primary sources. The original documents
Okay.
written at the time the events is happening, and the testimony of the actual eyewitness, the witness to the fact. So ibig sabihin, kung nagsulat si Aguinaldo, kung nagsulat si Mabini, it is considered as primary sources, yung kanyang statement.
Okay.
And those documents na mga example, yung mga mga akta, mga legislation, mga ginawang batas ni Aguinaldo, mga pinirmahan nila, basta any documents that happened, that written during the time the events is happening,
Yes.
it is considered as primary sources. Now, yun ang dapat na sinusuri ng mga mag-aaral.
Do we have those sources?
Yes, available lahat yun. Available lahat yun sa library, and some is already in the...
Okay. Guru, last, I just have a question. This is a very, very interesting, though very, very long topic, because napakaraming topics niyan. If ever they would like to, find out or get in touch with you, what do you have, a FB page that we can
Yes.
link? Okay, so we can you'll allow us to post it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Actually, my Facebook page
Please.
is a history page dapat. Kaya lang pinapalitan ni Facebook, kasi
Okay.
sabi ni Facebook, ni Meta, dapat daw yung may-ari, yun talaga yung doon nakapangalan. Pero ang
Yes.
talagang pangalan ng Facebook historical page ko dati is Kasaysayan at Iba Pa.
Kasaysayan at iba pa.
Iba pa,
Pero
yes.
ngayon, ano po yun ngayon?
Sumaquel Hosalla na lang.
Sumaquel.
Pinapalitan ni
Sige,
Facebook.
yung FB mismo na Sumaquel Hosalla.
Yes, but
Okay.
I'm posting lots of historical.
Okay. Siguro, if you will allow us,
Yes.
we will be posting that.
Yes,
Guru
yes.
Joel,
Yes.
we'll be posting that in our. This is going to be very, very exciting, and I am sure we will be having a lot more of this. Okay, because this is
Yes.
so important. Yes, Guru.
Two things. Sir Maki is good at history.
Obviously.
Today in history, etc. Am I correct? And also number two, there is a group of historical reenactors who does historical cosplays during town fiestas or town events like Independence Day or araw ng Bataan or araw ng Battle of San Juan.
We're talking about reenactments.
He's the man.
We have a group of reenactors.
Now, this is what we have to tell the public.
If they needed people who will reenact a certain historical events, we have the costumes, we have the materials to perform it.
And I am sure you are very strict on making sure that it's closest to what actually happened, right?
Yes, our pati uniform.
Pati uniform.
Pati suot. Our
Rayadillo.
motto
Okay.
is
Rayadillo.
Yes.
Right.
UP
Yes.
If you want to invite us again, maybe we can
No, we
dress.
exactly. I remember Rayadillo. I was the shortest Rayadillo. But anyway, yeah, nagpapatakad lang sa akin yung tusok. But it's beautiful. I didn't expect it to be this exciting. So, with that team, what's the name of your reenactment team?
The new nationalist reenactment.
Where, okay, you can be contacted for that.
Yes, I have a page.
You have a page. We can post it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we will be posting that, ladies and gentlemen. We will be posting that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the actual reenactment? Okay, I mean the realistic reenactment of several events. Like for example,
Battle of Alapan.
Battle of.
Alapan. Battle of San Mateo, for example.
Okay, those battles. And what I can recall is yung nagpupunit ng sedula. What do you call that?
The cry of Balintawak.
The cry of Balintawak. Di ba? Pugad Lawin. Okay, okay. I'm afraid already baka magkamali ako. But still, you know what is accurate? It's very important. I mean, it's very important in my opinion, okay? And I'm sure many will agree that the Filipinos, whatever age, but especially the youth, okay, should know what happened, you know, and why we are enjoying this freedom that we have, why we are enjoying, you know, all these privileges. It's because the path has been prepared. So it only follows that we will know the correct path. How our, should I say, ancestors? Okay, how our heroes, how our ancestors paved that way for us to be able to enjoy what we have right now. Okay, any last words? Well, not last words, but for this episode, Prof or Gro?
Okay. Last words.
Yes.
For me, history is like a ringside event that if it unfolds right before the eyes of our forefathers, it's a good thing.
Okay, continue.
But if it unfolds in our generation, we are lucky to witness something that is unfolding right before our eyes. Like history is like journalism or like media, because the media, like you, Coach Gus, is a witness, or you have the ringside view of history that is unfolding daily.
And also, gentlemen, it is an honor for me to have you here at the Super Lolo Show, especially itong ating balitaktakan or talakayan.
Talakayan.
Okay, talakayan. Because this is something that I'm telling you, it's history in itself. Okay, because this may be the start. This may be the start of awareness, of spreading awareness of our history, you know what really happened, Philippine history, okay, to our viewers, to the youth, and to those, I'm sure many would like to know what really happened. And I'm not forgetting the Lapu-Lapu thing. But that's for another episode.
Again.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again for watching, for supporting the Super Lolo Show. We'll be having more of these, more special guests, more of our growth. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome everyone to the Super Lolo Show. Prepare for a journey where age knows no bounds and life is the ultimate adventure. Here, we spotlight exceptional individuals who thrive in life's varied arenas, be it sports, entrepreneurship, or community service. I'm your host, Super Lolo Coach Gaston Hoya.
The Super Lolo Show.